Welcome to our 8th mission. While Moses led the children of Israel out of Egypt, he did not lead them into the promised land, but he died at the border. Joshua, on the other hand, was a trusted and faithful advisor and companion to Moses along the journey, and so he took over the job to lead them into the land where they would become a nation. However, they had an obstacle to face. The city of Jericho, a mighty city with thick walls. They would have to face this city and take it down before they could venture into the land God had given them. Let's see what Joshua has in mind and what God might do to get them through this obstacle. Let's head in. So as you see, that is the mighty city of Jericho. Now, it may look tough, and the children of Israel, though they might have weapons from Egypt or some other places, they might have a struggle with this city. But we have intel. Rahab, someone inside the city, has information to pass to Joshua. Let's see her message in Joshua chapter 2. And she said unto the men, I know that the Lord hath given you the land, and that your terror is fallen upon us, and that all the inhabitants of the land faint because of you. For we have heard how the Lord dried up the water of the Red Sea for you, when ye came out of Egypt, and what ye did unto the 2 kings of the Amorites that were on the other side of Jordan, Sihon and Og, whom ye utterly destroyed. And as soon as we had heard these things, our hearts did melt, neither did there remain any more courage in any man because of you. For the Lord your God, he is God in heaven above and in earth beneath. This is good. The people inside Jericho fear and tremble. They've heard the stories of what God and Israel have done, and they fear. However, only Rahab has decided to join with the children of Israel, to disband any false beliefs they had, and to join with the one true God. Only Rahab and her family has chosen. And she will let a red cord hang in her window to mark her home, so that they stay alive in the battle. But though the fighting might be easy, while the soldiers might tremble in fear, we still have to get through that wall. Let's go to Joshua's camp and see what he has in mind. That's a strange visitor. Let's find out who he is. Let's go to Joshua chapter 5. And it came to pass, when Joshua was by Jericho, that he lifted up his eyes and looked, and behold, there stood a man over against him with his sword drawn in his hand. And Joshua went unto him and said unto him, Art thou for us, or for our adversaries? And he said, Nay, but as captain of the host of the Lord am I now come. So the captain of God's army has come to help Joshua in this battle. What do you think he might do? What do you think Joshua might do? He might have planned. Perhaps if they had built siege engines, catapults, ladders, though that might take more time than they have and be too complex. And the ladders could be dangerous. They'd have to make a lot of them. And they might lose a lot of men to archers on the walls. Perhaps they could dig a tunnel. Let's find out what God has in store. And ye shall compass the city, all ye men of war, and go round about the city once. Thus shalt thou do 6 days. So it's nothing as exciting as what God has done in Egypt, raining down hail and fire, turning the whole city dark, bringing up frogs, locusts, or flies. It's simple, and we haven't got to the walls yet. Just a simple walk around the city, not 1 day, or 2, or even 3, but for 6 days. Just take a walk around the city. What about the 7th day after this? And 7 priests shall bear before the ark 7 trumpets of ram's horns, and the 7th day ye shall compass the city 7 times, and the priests shall blow with the trumpets, and it shall come to pass, that when they make a long blast with the ram's horn, and when ye hear the sound of the trumpet, all the people shall shout with a great shout, and the wall of the city shall fall down flat, and the people shall ascend up every man straight before him. So if all it took was shouting and a horn blast, why didn't God do this sooner? Why wait 6 days, 7 days? Why not on day 1? Well, remember Rahab. She had heard of the stories. They saw them at their doorstep, and she joined herself with the children of Israel. What about everyone else in the city? Perhaps God gave them 6 days to either join themselves or perhaps flee. Yet instead, despite their fear, they stood behind their walls in fear, trusting that their walls would save them. Perhaps God is patient and kind, but he is also just, and he will bring his judgment in his time. It looks like Joshua is well on his way to conquering the land and becoming a nation. Let's head back to the HQ and recap on what we've learned. From what we've seen today, who was our main person of interest? That was Joshua. And where did the great battle take place? Jericho. And how should we describe the events we saw today? We could say the walls fall down, Jericho defeated, or even conquest of Canaan. Any of those could nicely summarize the events of today. You've done good work today, agents. Mark the gray box for a mission accomplished, and until next time, farewell.